The Quench, where you ask, we answer.
Now, before we went for the break, we were trying to understand the advantages of arranged marriages. And my audience, which represents the statistics outside there, did not have many advantages. As a matter of fact, they refused to give me any. I got one or two. So let's look at the alternative. Marriages based on feelings. What makes them superior to you people? What makes them a preference to you people as compared to a simple arranged marriage? So let's start with the person holding the microphone. Why would you prefer the alternative?
All right, my name is Abigail Karemi. After having said the advantages of arranged marriages, I think the advantages of these other marriages which are not arranged is that they meet your personal needs. In as much as when people have arranged marriages, like your parents have your best interest at heart when looking for someone for you, when you go ahead and search for someone for yourself, you are the one who knows yourself best. So you know exactly what you want and you're able to meet your own needs when looking for that person.
Okay, that is nice. Another reason as to why you would prefer this other process.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Tobias. As for me, I prefer the other one because you'll get to bond with this person. You get to know her better or him better. So unlike the other one, which you are arranged for, you'll not get to, as in, utana na interest yako, utana na interest wenye walikuletea. As in, ni kama sana ni peer pressure. The pressure in you, okay, na huyu mseju hawa wanamjua, si wanamjua, ni hawa wanamjua.
So now you can't leave this person because your friends don't approve and they're the ones that helped you get there. Becomes a whole process of things. John, tell us, why would you not prefer an arranged marriage?
An arranged marriage?
Why would you prefer the alternative?
I prefer the alternative because alternative, they say experience is the best. So when you are uko na ule mwenye unataka, you experience a lot. Mko hapo mna experience new wote. Kuchapa shoka, unachapwa shoka. Hiyo story inaendelea. Ile nyingine is out of blue, mmeletewa tu. Hujui ameenda experience gani na bado hujajua what she or he anataka. Na wewe sasa unajua umejipeleka soko. Ukienda soko unajua nini unataka. Huwezi nunua avocado na unataka nyanya.
Okay, another advantage of the alternative to an arranged marriage.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm Faith Mburu. Okay, me na support the other marriage because you get to know the character of your partner wako and then unajua weaknesses and all that. So me na support the other marriage.
Why not arranged marriages? I don't understand why people don't want easy things. You want to suffer, heartbreaks, character formation, all of them in a bag. Tell us why.
Hi. I'm Sharon. So I prefer the alternative marriage because you be the person that you love, and like in the arranged marriage, unaweza letewa mse mwenye una feelings kwake. So
but our feelings everything. When it comes to a marriage, I might not know enough. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. There comes a time when love is not enough. It's not the only thing that is holding on to that.
Actually, you need to say, love is not about feelings. If the feelings are there, fine. But now I've been married for 31 years. And I can tell you it's not all about feelings. It is about commitment. Love is spelled commitment. If you are committed to this person, regardless of their weaknesses, regardless of their strengths, you will, once you committed to that particular person, that's why we take vows in church. And you say, forsaking all others, meaning therefore that there are others out there, and clinging to this one. Yes. So you will cling to that one, regardless of maybe everything. By the way, marriage does not mean that you will never have feelings for, you never look at, say, for example, another man and you see, vile amejenga useme, hey, na huyu ako sawa. Now, all you see maybe, the way that particular girl is, and one hey na huyu ako sawa. It is about commitment, and I believe that the reason why in this time when people are saying they are going with their feelings can be very deceptive.
Yes, they can.
Because you get into a marriage. And then out of simply feelings, but in fact, more often than not, when people come together, and especially the ones who say, we are fallen in love head over heels, Now, if it is head over heels, by the time that the heels and now the head is the one up, my friend, the reality has struck. You realize that things can no longer work. And that is why you find that in this generation, divorce rate is higher than when we used to have the arranged marriages. Why? Because the arranged marriages is, you knew, my father, my mother, everybody, the clan is involved in this, so I'll be committed to this particular person.
Okay.
If eventually, of course, that also, especially amongst the Africans, allowed for polygamy. If eventually you also want to later around somebody else, maybe that first wife can look for somebody else akuja msaidie.
Okay.
Lakini sio, but and I'm not advocating for that. But I'm simply saying that going merely by feelings is very deceptive. You need to, especially this courtship. Hii kitu watu siku hizi wanaita dating courtship. And people tell one another a lot of sweet nothings.
Yes.
And they have their place, even in marriage.
Yeah.
I am not saying they're bad, but I am saying that people need to know one another. And once you are committed, whether it was by feelings or it was arranged, once you are committed to this particular person, remain committed.
Remain committed all through.
I said something.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about love, feelings in this time and day when people are saying my dress, my choice, my choice, my choice, and all that. In the issue of marriage, clearly, the externals, the beauty, the handsomeness and everything, and the feelings, mainly play the role of bringing people together.
True.
But for people to stay together, there has to be something deeper, something more serious. So, in as much as we agree, it's good to have your choice. It's beautiful to have your choice, but also that journey requires some preparation. I think the major challenge now we have is people are you are supposed to live with somebody all your life, but you are not, you fail to prepare for that journey. That's where the ball is being dropped nowadays. People don't want to prepare, and especially prepare without crossing boundaries. So that if it is not working, each one of you is safe. But people jump into, they cross boundaries too early without preparing for this journey. They are to walk together. To develop that kind of commitment Mwalimu is talking about takes time. You
It's a
also
process.
need to be allowed time to develop that commitment. Ya kwamba huyu ninampenda in good seasons and in bad seasons. And marriage, as he has rightly said, is more about commitment. There are enough reasons for breakup. Pastor John Hagee says many a times the situation of marriage is that the people that are inside, the majority of them are struggling whether they can go out. And the people who are outside want to go in. So there is that crash.
There's
But
that conflict.
the baseline is marriage is about commitment.
Marriage is about commitments. Now, people fail to make commitments to their partners, which allows for other people outside that memorandum of understanding to get into it. Please tell us how you wanted to say.
Hi, my name is Sam. And what I wanted to say is that, one, we are in this 21st century where mtu anataka ajitafutie. And one of the reason is because for me to be called a man, si nikae kwa nyumba niletewe mtu. So for me to be called that man,
You have to go through
I have to go out and look for huyo msichana. And one of the things nimekuja kulearn is that, okay, it's true, utapata heartbreaks, but the moment unafail ukistand up, hiyo ndio moment unalearn a lot of things. You're learning a lot of things. So like unalearn character ya huyu dem, huyu msichana, and then the other one, and then the other one. So the moment utapata the other rib yako, now the correct one, you will not be having a hard time kumunderstand na kumuelewa and all that. You'll be having a very easy time because one, utakumbuka ule mwingine alikuwa anataka attention. Na ndio huyu asiende nitampea attention. ule mwingine alikuwa anataka time na ndio huyo siende pia nitampea time. So like utakuwa umelearn a lot of things which now you will be like expressing them. Now that's why we are not for me I'm not like advocating for easy arranged marriages. I want to go out there, look for that person mwenye yes.
Go there.
Yes, that's all.
Marriage, in even traditional marriages, there was a point at which that everybody would actually know so and so is married.
Yeah.
And maybe wakati mtu ametoa mahari kwa the lady or something like that, if it is amongst the Kalenjin wakienda Goito, after the Goito, you know, the udhoni,
Yes.
they would actually, akitaka kwenda na huyo msichana angeenda naye. So traditionally there was a beginning. If we come to the weddings that we do in church, it is the wedding. The wedding is the time that you are married.
Yeah.
If you now want to enjoy the rights of the married, but the privileges of the single, now it complicates issues.
Yes.
You want to be free to mingle, but at the same time, you want your clothes, if at all it's a man, washed. You want your meals made, and you want to have somebody in bed. Now that is actually like starting to climb the tree from the top. You know, it's just like I have had some people tell girls, there are several gowns that you are supposed to wear. The first gown that you should actually wear is the graduation gown. And after you have worn the graduation gown, now it should come, after that, there should be a wedding gown. And probably after the wedding gown, a maternity gown. If one starts before the other, that is the order. Graduation gown, marriage gown, maternity gown. If you start particularly with the maternity, life will treat you very badly. And in the same way, we are saying the reason why this man, I wouldn't be able to understand what is it that keeps this girl in that home for 4 years.
Why?
4 years doing what? And she has told you categorically, we will never get married. Something that people need to know about the act that talks about marriage in Kenya. That was made 2017.
All right.
There is no, from 2017, there is no marriage unless it is a registered marriage.
So
Even
you're
traditionally,
just saying,
hata ukienda traditionally, utoe mahari, you are supposed to go and register it with the Register of Marriages. If this one of come we stay, and even if you are to have 10 children, you will never go to court and say that so and so was my husband because we had these kids. You know the way people used to go to churches and stop weddings akiwa amefuatwa na watoto.
Yes.
Having children does not amount to marriage.
Yes.
And you can have the children and then you'll be left single, bringing up those children while the man is already married to somebody else. So to me, I think that such a scenario, the lady needs, and the ones who are not yet married, need the information that before you give your body to somebody, first of all, let him
marry you.
Because unaweza achwa kwa mataa. Kwanza unakupata ball, ukipata ball jamaa ukienda kumwambia, unajua nini niko na ball, una expect ati celebrating. Unakuta anakuambia ni nani? And you're the only person umekuwa na yeye. So basically that's why I was saying that is a very sad scenario. But those ones who are not married, the girl was told right from the beginning, I don't know why she's stuck. So she made her bed, let her lie on it.
Pastor Jimmy, what do you have to say in the situation?
Very sad. I just want to echo the same. And unfortunately, a lot of that is happening
A lot
today.
of that is happening, yes.
And even with that law, unakuta mtu sasa anakaa hapa miaka 4, miaka 5 na hajaoa.
Even 10 years, 20.
With several children. And then amekuwa akimwambia you're not married. Then one day he decides hii mzigo ya hii nyumba imekuwa kubwa sana. And then he goes and starts another one of the same kind. Anadanganya mwingine miaka kadhaa mzigo imekuwa kubwa, anatembea. So those things are there and they are very, very sad. And now for us, particularly as Christians, we've got to shout them out, and especially amongst those who are of the household of faith. And we declare this kind of game is a no in our kingdom. We in our kingdom hatufutangi laini. There is a line where from this day on I am a married man. From this day on I am a married girl. And the community will treat you as such. And do you know why you will be treated as such? Because you treated yourself as such.
Very well.
I think the persons we are not addressing this whole story. We're addressing the lady and the gentleman who has failed to commit. The mother and the sister and the lady they are bringing into the picture who was a childhood friend. Because today we're talking about arranged marriages. Let us start with those people. And see, let's start with Pastor Jimmy. What would you tell the mother, the sister, and the lady that is coming into this
They may
story?
be having good intentions. But their mipango may not see the end of the day.
And why?
It will not work. The moment, the only person you can change, we say, ni yule mwenye ako kwa diapers. At the moment you are dealing with a full-grown man, they will make their choices.
They will make their choices.
Either right or wrong. So you and your girl up country, huyo ni wenu. The guy has his life in town or elsewhere. Actually, they may be wasting an opportunity for that girl.
What would you tell that girl now?
That girl,
who is waiting for the man to
hapa hakuna msaada. This mama and the daughter wanakuchezea, wanakudanganya. They should not be involved in the same game their son is involved in. They should gladly allow this girl to mingle and probably get another person. They should not give her false hopes.
We experienced that with a colleague that we used to teach somewhere with, whose mother-in-law never accepted her. Those ones were married. Actually, they got married, but the mother-in-law never accepted her. Na akatafuta msichana mwingine huko in the village, na anapiga simu, huyu jamaa aende nyumbani. Akifika nyumbani anakuta ya kwamba kuna msichana ambaye alimekuwa akitengeneza chakula hapa. Alafu anaambiwa ya kwamba enda udust hiyo nyumba ya so and so, si kuna ile kasimba.
Yes.
Go and dust it. And then huyu wakati anaondoka hata mama anafunga nyumba yake. Si mama, jamaa ametoka amekula, anafunga. And it is not once when that gentleman drove at night to go back to the wife who he was married to. And unfortunately, later on, the girl actually, very many years, her time was wasted. She left, or rather, he didn't marry her, but unfortunately for her, she passed on. Before she got sick and passed on. But amewekwa na mama yake. Huyo ni mke wako ama ni mke wa, that's a house help. Wacha asaidie mama nyumbani, lakini sio, so wasting that. But I also have a word for that man. The Bible says very clearly that for this reason, a man, and that is why he said, a man shall leave his mother and father. Living is not necessarily geographical. It is in terms of authority. So the very moment that somebody is grown up enough and feels that I can now start my family, the authority that was coming from the parents should cease from that moment. Respect them, honor them, but not obey them. There is nowhere whereby it talks about a grown-up obeying the parents.
Oh, you're right with that. I think we are that. I think what we can conclude by the end of the day is that modern arranged marriages are taking place. They need to cease. They need to cease because you ought to go find the person that you want. And with that, we culminate arranged marriages right here on The Quench. My name is Ongeshi Karemi, and I will see you next time.
The Quench, where you ask, we answer.